Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Randy.
What are you doing?
You can believe it, I'm picking peas.
Peas?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah, look at them. Got all these peas.
Hang on, I'm gonna come closer. That's a lot of peas.
Yeah, and there's still lots more on the plants here to pick. But you know what? I can't remember which variety I planted where, and they all look the same.
Well, you have to check our chart.
Yeah, I guess. I've got lots more. You want to see this plant here? See that?
Let me get zoom in on that. Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, so I just pull them off. It sure got big, but it rained a lot this week, so.
Cool.
Hey, look at this one. I know this is a snow pea. I know that because it's flat. See how big that is?
Wow, there's a few in there. I see another one in the back.
I see some really big ones. This one, that's huge. I love peas.
So, what else have we got going over here, though?
Well,
What's all this by your feet?
this is a weed. A viney weed, apparently.
Oh, careful, careful. Careful. There.
Just break it. Okay, down here, these are spinach. You can see they're kind of bolting, but they're still good. Baby spinach is always the best, but it's still good. A lot of people like to cook their spinach, especially when it gets older like this, but I actually really don't like it cooked. So, raw. Anyway, and this is butter crunch lettuce, and I've been eating it all week in like sandwiches and hamburgers and stuff. We have lots and lots and lots of it, so we need to make a salad tonight, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So,
Lots of butter crunch lettuce.
that's cool. So I'm gonna let you finish
Well,
picking, and we can show them your entire
some other stuff that's growing?
all the stuff that you harvest.
Alrighty.
How's that? Because we have a lot of work to do today in the garden, don't we?
Yeah, because it's been raining a lot, so we haven't had a lot of time to do anything. And everything's growing crazy now.
Which is good.
Yeah, oh my, big peas. So it's peas and salad for supper.
Woohoo! All right. Say, see you later.
See you later, guys.
So Amanda, we were out here a little earlier today, and then it got really hot. So we went inside, had a nap. So let's give the viewers a review of the rest of the stuff we have going, since it's a little cooler now.
Alright. The same bed that we were working in earlier today. At the other end of the bed we have these two big purple cabbage plants, and they're looking really good. Up until very recently there was no sign of slug damage, but I see there's some holes in it now. Hey, here's an inchworm. Okay. And back here we have some different kinds of tomatoes. I don't have them marked. I believe they're Roma tomatoes. Hi, buddy. You look surprised.
Hi, squirrel?
Hi.
What are you doing?
Did we put a little dent in your plans? Where were you planning to go?
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
He's making a funny noise, eh? Alrighty.
Zoom.
He's a cute squirrel. It was a surprise. Alright. Alrighty.
Oh, fun.
Alright. So anyway, so there's tomatoes here. Oh, these two I think are Roma, and the one on the end here is the yellow pear tomatoes.
Okay.
So,
So that's what we've got going on. There's another one behind you here. Is that...
oh, what? Oh, another tomato? I forget. Maybe it's another Roma. I forget.
I know we're doing a lot of Roma this year.
Well, I planted a lot of seeds, and whatever ones really took ended up in the garden. So there's also over here some squashes, butternut and spaghetti squash, but I can't remember which ones I planted where.
Yeah, and there's another one.
And
Another one down here at this end. Another two, actually. Well, you know what? There's a little label here.
Yeah, I labeled it after the fact, though, so even that I'm not...
And the rain, I think, did a number on your label.
I can read it. I think that one says spaghetti. Spaghetti.
Yeah, that one says spaghetti squash. And even the tomato back here says, well, that's yellow. There's even a little thing there that says yellow. Yellow tomato. Alright. So, which bed are we at now?
This bed has the raspberries in it. We planted these last year. And it was pretty small last year, just a couple little twigs. And it's expanded a lot.
So it's doing pretty good.
Yep, next to it, another yellow pear tomato plant. And you can see it's got little flowers on it already. And next to that, this is a Bonnie Best tomato. It's taking its time.
Seems the Bonnie Best ones are taking their time.
Yeah. And this is a zucchini.
Woohoo!
I think it's yellow. This is rhubarb. Rhubarb. I like rhubarb.
Alright. Oh, what's behind you?
You mean this fence that you made?
Yeah. So we finished the fence. This is the finished product.
Yeah.
And we have, we're going to be putting vines on that.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
So we have square window planters I was going to put at the base.
Oh, good. So we were thinking the same thing. That's good. That's what I was thinking too.
Alright. So our herb garden.
I'm thinking this yard is a mess. Alright, herb garden.
What do you have? Start at the end.
Over here is all sage, and it went to flower recently, so this is what it looks like afterwards. Behind it is the world's smallest sweet basil.
Way in there. That thing right there, which we can't focus on.
That's the sweet basil. We have next to it the horseradish. Next to that, this huge thing is the lemon balm.
It's getting bigger every year too.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to dig up a bunch of it this year.
It smells so good though.
Alright, over here we have some thyme. Behind it, there's dill. I just sprinkled a bunch of dill seeds there. And that's why it's all grassy looking, because it's a lot of dill seeds. Next to the dill, there's a vine there. I believe that's morning glory that just grew back on its own. It does that. But next to that, with the bigger leaves, got the scarlet runner bean. And slugs kind of like this bed, so that's probably what's eating the leaves on that. Next to it, this yellow is golden oregano. And I have in these pots here, this pot here is marjoram from seed. This pot is a pretty crappy attempt at growing parsley, and it had summer savory in it as well, but that didn't work out so well. I think the parsley's going to come back. Over here we have our mint, and next to it we have chives, which we kind of tied up and staked out today. makes it kind of a mess, but it's just to allow the other herbs around it to get some sunlight and stuff.
Okay. I think we collected some seeds from the chives, so we've got a whole ton of seeds that we have to still process a little bit. Now what are we at?
Well, this bed, the viewers have seen before when I was putting the chicken wire on top of it. It's really kind of exploded since then. These tall plants in the back are sunflowers, and one of them for some reason just broke today. I don't know if an animal maybe.
Well, we had a couple windy days with lots of rain.
In front of that there's broccoli.
Oh, goody!
They're a little small still.
Yeah, we might be able to replace that other sunflower with maybe another broccoli.
So, here are watermelon.
All right, now where are they going to go? Because they're vining.
I don't know. Out around here.
So you're going to put them out into the grass?
Maybe, or make them grow upwards. That's usually what I end up doing.
Oh, okay.
This bed is supposed to be equivalent. Everything was planted at the same time in it. It has some of the same stuff, like broccoli planted at the same time as the broccoli in the bed you just saw. Sunflowers also planted at the same time. And these are cantaloupes planted at the same time as those watermelons. So I don't know, this bed isn't nearly as happy. Maybe it just gets that much more shade in the day. I don't know.
This might have to be another one of our cold weather, our cold crop.
Well, broccoli
beds.
should do fine in it. Broccoli.
Yeah, broccoli should do fine, but
cool.
I think this doesn't get a lot of sun because behind you, we've got our tree. Big, not really big, but our maple.
That shouldn't be a problem because the sun comes around this way.
But we've also got the greenhouse in the way, and maybe, I don't know. Hard to say.
This bed is not as happy as the other one. Maybe it just needs chicken wire on it.
Who knows? Alright, so into the greenhouse where it was super hot earlier.
It's like, where's Waldo? There are 4 tomato plants in this bed. So in here, I believe it's Bonnie Best, and I believe that's a Bonnie Best. So they're doing better than the one out there. Actually, look down here at the base. Look at the size of that stem. I'll put my finger next to it so you have some comparison.
It's about as thick as your finger.
Yeah. That's crazy. So this one is pretty healthy. It's just not very tall, and it has flowers on it. I see the flowers, this is the first time doing Bonnie Best, I see the flowers are much larger than the ones on the Roma plant. There's another tomato here. Is this a, oh, this is a chocolate cherry tomato one. And back here, hiding, is another one. This. Chocolate cherry tomato.
Yeah, that looks like it's
Well, this lettuce will come out very soon because
it's bolting.
yeah. And this is all carrots, which they're not ready to be picked yet, so I don't know.
I don't know. Can we get a good look at the base of a couple of those carrots? I see 3 from here, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's some big ones right here.
Because that's near the base of that of those tomatoes.
And they're probably feeding each other, the tomatoes and the carrots. I don't know. All right.
All right, and what do we have here?
These are beans. It looks kind of beaten down, but that's because they get watered this afternoon. Usually it's a huge bush. All kinds of beans though. These purpley looking ones are, of course, purple beans. And then here, they're yellow beans. There's one right here. It's just tiny still. And then the last bit there are all green beans. And it's interesting how you could tell the difference just even in the leaves. You see the green ones, the leaves are super dark. And the yellow ones are the lightest. And then the purple ones, even the stems are purple.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty interesting. There's a lot of beans on there, but they're all really small at the moment.
Oh, and what's this funny looking thing here?
This is the kale. I can't believe how well kale just keeps on going. It just keeps on growing. That's awesome. I really want to plant more kale too. Next to it we have more carrots. You see those?
Let me get in on them. Oh yeah, they look almost ready, I would say.
Yeah. They're a little crowded, but... And garlic back there, which died off, so I'm guessing it's time to...
I would just cut it down to the dirt, and the garlic will keep going, and it'll grow another stalk.
Really?
Yep.
I thought you were supposed to pick it when it died off.
Oh, if you leave it, it'll keep going.
Alright, back here we have zucchinis.
That's doing really well.
Yeah, there's 2 planted back there.
The one looks much smaller than the other.
If you look at Austin Simple Living's channel, he talks about the, what is it called?
Squash vine borer?
Yeah. And we used his trick there around the base of those.
Almond
Hopefully
train.
that works.
There you go.
So check out his channel if you want to see more information about that. More tomatoes here. And right next to it, this is actually a brandywine tomato. I noticed, like, brandywine tomatoes, the leaves look totally different from any other tomato plant I've ever planted. Usually tomato plants all have these jaggedy leaves, but the brandywines don't. We have, of course, hanging here. It was only recently transplanted, as you know, so it's still a little wilty. They do that when you transplant things for the first little bit, but they're getting their roots established, and then the plant will come back. But this is the ground cherry.
It looks like the
Ground cherry is a nightshade family, and this is your classic nightshade flower.
see if I can get you a close-up here.
You see a nightshade flower has like these 5 petals and the little center thing.
Okay.
Tomatoes, peppers, ground cherries, they're all part of the nightshade family. So they grow like this, and then the fruit or vegetable comes out of that flower. So this is our ground cherry. Here, these are potatoes.
They understand that those are volunteers.
They are volunteers, so we must not have dug up everything last year.
And what's this other bed here?
Exciting. Oh,
this bed looks
it's empty at the moment.
empty.
We just emptied it. It had like lettuces and peas and stuff in it.
Some more cold crops.
So now,
not hot like a greenhouse sort of stuff.
yeah. Now I have some seeds that a friend brought back from Russia for us. So I'm going to go through those and see which of those seeds would be appropriate in a greenhouse, and we'll start those. Hopefully, it is kind of late in the growing season, but since this is a greenhouse, hopefully there's enough time left to grow some of those seeds in here.
Alright, now this is probably one of the most exciting beds in the greenhouse right now.
Yeah, it's got all kinds of stuff in it.
So
now, I had planted in the back here carrots, and I used that square foot gardening seed tape that I showed you in a previous video. That's what I used to plant the carrots. And you can see a few carrots came up, but it's pretty, yeah, not very consistent. So something needs to be improved upon there. The beets were planted that way as well. You see some of the beets did come up, but again, not consistent. Look, we've got a little beet here. Here, you can see the beets. Now, while beets are growing, you can take some of the leaves off. Don't take them all off, but just pick a few and throw them in your salad, and that's good. Some people will boil them or saute them, and they like that. I don't, but they do. Other people do. Back here we have peppers. I believe they're just plain ordinary green peppers.
yeah, and this one's got a couple peppers on it, the one that you're touching there.
Yeah.
So move that one leaf there so they can see. There's 2 peppers.
Yeah.
Right
Now this
there.
one here that I'm touching is the one that we started in the house in the winter and transplanted it out here. It's doing really well now. You see there's flowers all over it.
And
so it's already doing better than any of the ones we planted last year.
And this one we used Praxis's method, and when we transplanted it, we buried it very deep.
Yeah. All right. More tomatoes here. Tomatoes here.
Yeah, what type of tomatoes? You know, I
I
think
would
that
have to
one
look at my chart.
is a Polish linguiça.
Probably.
That big, the taller one, which is good. And I think the one down there is also Polish linguiça.
Now we did Polish linguiça from seed, and we bought the seeds from West Coast Seed. And what I found is, although they germinated, they didn't stick around very well. Like, it took many attempts, and all I got out of it was like these 2 plants. So Polish linguiça may be a little tricky to grow, or maybe it's just me.
But we may also, once these plants get a little bigger, and take some of the, do a cutting and grow some more with the cuttings.
Maybe.
But
I don't want to touch it yet.
What else do you have here?
Okay.
I'm going to switch spots with you.
Alright. Alright, Randy and I don't really like cucumbers. At least not just to, like, munch on a cucumber. But we do like pickles. And sometimes cucumber's good in, like a potato salad or a macaroni salad or something, just to give you the crunch. But we don't really like cucumbers. But this is our first year growing cucumbers. And you can see it's just doing awesome. And we are training them vertically because cucumbers tend to take up a lot of space. And so far, so good.
These things are loving the greenhouse.
Sure are.
And we've got lots of little
See that
cucumbers. I got a close up. Okay.
Of course, it's easy to have these hanging vertically when they're this big. Hopefully when they're a little bigger they still work, but I don't think that these ones get all that big because we specifically bought pickling ones.
As far as I know, from what I understand, is anything that, any vining plants will typically be able to support itself if it ends up climbing something, which is why they send out the tendrils, so it'll be able to support whatever fruits it has on its vine.
Now, how we trained this is literally from the time it was tall enough, we weaved it in and out of the lattice work here. So, like, every couple days I come out and I take the tendrils and I put them back in so that they just keep on growing up this. So it's tedious, but it's not like I have to do it every day or anything. But you gotta keep up with it or it'll just go back to the ground. It's doing great right now. Just covered in flowers.
Alright, now there's only one more bed, and everyone knows what bed that is.
Yeah.
Is the strawberry bed.
With a tree growing in the middle of it.
There happens to be a tree growing in the middle.